happened, but I'm just curious to know how well you slept last night.
Horribly, to be honest. Tried to take a sleeping tablet, didn't work. The mind just couldn't switch off, but fortunately today wasn't ever going to be a full day, so I knew either way it would be fine, but yeah, didn't sleep too well.
Well played, Aiden, and many congratulations. Can you tell us about those tears last night when you got to your 100?
Yeah, it was weird. Last night I was pretty emotional. From let's call it, what time did we finish at? About 6, from about 5:15. The game had sort of slowed down. I had a bit of time to look around and see all the fans, the family, all the mates that are there, look at the change room, and then I was like, yes, we're here now. Like we're getting close. And it caught me off guard. Obviously then the 100 happened and a couple of tears leaked out that I was trying to fight. In terms of today, nothing's hit me just yet, so maybe that's a good thing. But something needs to hit me soon to get out all the emotions, because it's been a bit of a roller coaster.
Can I just quickly, was there any, considering South Africa's history in things like this, was there any doubt in your mind? Did you go, 59, that's still a few more to get than I would have liked this morning?
I didn't feel too much of that. It was more about not wanting to expose the next player to it. We've all been in very high pressure situations, and it can make you think differently, react differently, and it's more just about not exposing guys to it if you have the opportunity to keep batting. So that's more what I was thinking. A bit of a frustration that it took quite some time to get there. But again, it was a soft ball on a slow wicket, ring field, and it was always going to be slow scoring, unfortunately. So we were trying to get it over and done with. It just wasn't working out, so it added to the frustration. But yeah, at the end of it, I mean, it doesn't always have to be a comment section. It's about getting the job done, I guess.
Aiden, it's already kind of been spoken about as one of the most significant innings in South African Test history. What does it feel like when you're actually playing it and you're thinking, oh, this is how big it is, or do you just put that out of your mind?
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about it, to be fair. I thought a lot about the T20 World Cup last night and how hopeless I felt sitting on the side after getting out, and I was like, I don't want to sit there again. So it just gave me a bit of motivation to make sure I stay at the crease if I could, but never once thought about the achievements and what would come with it. It was always about just trying to get the job done and trying to win.
Sorry, I was just checking out the piece. Just Aiden, you just spoke about the T20 World Cup, and just looking at your test cap, it's faded. I guess it's a sign of the blood and sweat and tears that you put into it too. For South Africa's first world title to be a test title, that too at Lords against Australia, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's as big and as tough as it gets. So all the questions that have been asked in the past have fortunately now been answered. The test one is always going to be, in my opinion, the toughest one. It's many days of playing good cricket, whereas in a T20 or even one-day cricket nowadays, you just need one person to really put their hand up on the day and you can get a win. So it was always going to be the toughest. It was always going to be a full sort of team effort to get over the line, and guys chipped in exactly when they needed to. Something small like Vian Mulder's partnership last night or yesterday, that's huge to take this thing out of the new ball. And then Temba's, both his knocks were massive. So it's not always about the massive milestones, but those guys that take the edge out of the game and get us ahead of the game and get us comfortable, it makes a big difference in finals, I feel.
Aiden, obviously you would have been upset that you went out late on, but as you're walking off and people are chanting your name and it's a standing ovation at Lords, and you know in the back of your mind that it's more or less job done, are you able to kind of pause for a second and take that in? That must be an incredible feeling.
Yeah, I wish I could have. Yeah, that's me being me. When I get out, I'm always angry, so I wish I could have, but at least looking at the building in front was pretty special. And then naturally the World Cup was incredibly special. So at least
I think Temba's said on BBC that the word sort of choke or chokers being used out there a little bit. Like, was that a motivator to sort of put that to bed and now perhaps not have to hear that anymore?
I mean, it'll be great to not have to hear it again. That's for sure. In terms of it motivating you, I mean, there's always going to be external things that can motivate you, but it's not your sole purpose for playing. So to have got the job done and to literally have got the job done and to get rid of that is quite a big thing for this team, I feel.
Aiden, just wanted to ask you about the partnership with Temba, and with that hamstring injury, Ashwell said there was a discussion going on, and can you tell us take us inside what you were saying about wanting Temba to be out there and how that affected the way you batted, and just generally a word on the captain and how he played out there.
Yeah, both his knocks were huge. To see his hammy go was obviously a bit worrying. But then we got to tea, I think it was, and we chatted in the change room, and he said he feels like he can still keep going. But he wanted to know from my side if the twos that are becoming ones would affect me. So I said there's no chance. It's about a partnership, staying out there for long, getting the ball even softer, even older, because that's obviously when batting became a lot easier. And that's exactly what he did, and he still actually managed to run twos and threes. So I think there was a lot of adrenaline there, but a lot of leadership and character that he showed. And again, those maybe not the big numbers, but the ones that really make a difference, and that was Temba in this game for us.
Aiden, your record against Australia is quite remarkable, your highest average. Is that a figure that you're aware of, and what do you put that down to? No,
it's not. I'm not sure about the figures, but yeah, I think the Australians and South Africans are pretty similar, and they play the game in a similar way. Play the game hard, play the game to compete, play the game to really win, and I think it, as well as for them, but very much so for us, brings out the best in us. So it's just a battle, it's just competition, and two teams that really don't have any interest in losing. So I think it brings out the best in a lot of cricketers, and not just myself, but quite a few of the players in their team and in our team.
Plenty of people in the ground and watching the game will have worries about the health of Test cricket, and maybe worries in particular about the health of it in South Africa, given how few games you guys have scheduled, how short your series are getting. After a week like this and an achievement like that, what feelings and what message do you have to communicate to the people who run the sport about how much the format means to you?
Yeah, it's always been my most important and most favourite format. Naturally, playing fewer games is not really on us. It's just sort of the cards you get dealt. But it's really important, in my opinion, to keep Test cricket as the number one in South Africa. So we understand all the dynamics that are happening in the cricket world, and that's completely fair. But it's more about the young guy coming through, that his main thing is to get a Test match bag and play Test match cricket for South Africa. That's if we can still do that, it's fine. For however long they play for is a different conversation in the world of cricket nowadays, but the number one priority should always be to play Test cricket, and I've always felt that, believed that, and if we can get that back with the younger people coming through, I think we've done well.
We'll start taking the last couple of questions. Here's to Keenan and then Neil.
Aiden, I'm not sure if you're aware of the song that was sung in the stands about you for the last week and a half, but in terms of the support that you had at Lord's, you don't get much crowds back home, but just what was it like to play in front of a full house, and particularly South Africa?
No, it was awesome. I thought we might have been outnumbered from before the game, thinking that quite a few Australians would have made the trip, and there were plenty of them as well. But to have Shosha Loza and those sorts of songs ringing around Lords is firstly very different to the normal Lords, but very awesome for us as South Africans to hear. So everyone came out, supported us, made the effort. Even when we got behind the 8 ball, they were fully invested, and the fans have been through thick and thin with us, so it's, I think, just as special for them.
Hi, okay. Aiden, I mean, people will measure this innings and it will be guarded very, very highly in South African cricket. At what point yesterday would you say that it just clicked for you and that you just felt that, okay, I'm in the groove here?
I'm not too sure. I suppose never really felt that way, just because of pretty much what was on the line. You've got quality bowlers coming at you the whole time, and sort of just never stops, and you never really catch a break. So it never felt that I clicked, but it was more just spending time and batting with intensity, knowing that the runs would come. But if I was there, that's the most important thing. Is the longer we build partnerships for, the closer we get. And once you get close, and you can start sort of formulating how you want to tick them off. So that was it. But nothing really sort of stood out and was like, okay, I'm in. Didn't really feel that way.
Aiden, you got a red inker in 2014 Under-19 World Cup. You played magnificently at Lords. What is it about the biggest games that brings out the best in you?
I'm not sure. I got a duck in the first innings, so it's weird. I just think it's desperation to win, to be honest. I've said it recently that I'm not here to chase numbers and stats and things like that. I really just want to win stuff for South Africa now. So I'm at peace with that, and I think it's quite a nice space to be in as a player, because your full buy-in is towards the team, and your full care is towards everyone in the change room, and that's what you try to take care of. And if things work out, then great, but the personal milestones and stuff like that will never be a thing now.
Aiden, it's an interesting measurement of the quality of your innings that, unless I missed some of them, every one of the Australians ran to you to say something. Were you aware of that in your gloom?
Yeah, you notice it for sure. Obviously, great touch from their side. There's quite a bit of banter I had on the field, so yeah, all is well and ends well, I guess. But yeah, always nice to be appreciated from the opposition.
Aiden, just one more on the fans. We saw you enjoying a nice, refreshing beverage after the win. Can you just take us inside that moment of celebrating with the South African fans?
Yeah, that was cool. That was one of my mates from school. He wanted me to come over, and I was like, "Flip, man, I can't. It's too busy. It's chaos." And then he was like, "Well, here's a beer." Then I was like, "Okay, I'm in." So I've had my first one for today, and I'm pretty sure there'll be a few more.